All right. So I hope you guys are doing fine. We are gonna make this as interactive as possible, and we are gonna look at SAT practice test 2, module 2. Module 1, module 2. I don't know. What are we looking at? I don't know what I said we'll look at. Module 1. I think I said we'll look at module 1. Yeah, let's look at module 1. Because we looked at module 1 and module 2 of practice test 1. So we're beginning module 1 of practice test 2. All right. We'll just get into it. Again, I'm going to try to make this, let's try to make this as interactive as possible. Feel free to pitch in. If you guys have anything to say, just unmute your mic, ask the question. If you have, slow me down. If I'm fast, the regular. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope everyone's doing great. I think we can get into it. All right. Anything before I start? Any questions from any? If you guys are going through any questions, or you just have any question in general?
No, sir. Let's dance.
All right. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So question one says the line graph shows. Pardon?
Sir, choice C.
Hey. Is
Sir,
that Auden? Is that Auden? Auden's too quick, guys. It's too quick. I haven't read the question, but let's see. Okay, so Auden says choice C. So the question says the line graph shows the percent of cars for sale at a used car lot on a given day by model year. So for what model year is a percent of cars for sale the smallest? All right, I see. Does anyone have any different answer choice on that particular question? Does anyone have any different answer choice? Let me get my papers and my calculators. See that? Yeah, we're ready. Do some math with you guys today. Does anyone have any different answer choice? Auden, do you want to explain to everyone why the answer is C? I agree with you. The answer is C. It's a very visual question. Auden? Okay. He doesn't want to tell us why it's C. Okay, so I guess I'll tell you guys. So we're looking for the year with the smallest percent. Okay, so our percent scale is on the y-axis here, so we can just look at the lowest point, which is this one, right? 5%. That's not 5. That's more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4%, and that's reflecting which year, because the question is asking us for which year do we have the smallest percent. So the year is 2014. So our answer is C. So that's our answer right there, C. Okay, so C is our answer. Move on to the next one. Question 2. So it says for a particular machine that produces beads, 29 out of every 100 beads have a defect. A bead produced by the machine will be selected at random. What is the probability of selecting a bead that has a defect? All right.
Choice C.
I concur with that assessment. Does anyone have any different answer? Any different answer? Does anyone have any different answer? No, you're right, Kisha. It is choice C. It is choice C, actually. Okay. So that is correct. Auden, do you want to explain why?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Probabilities are fractions. If 29 out of the 100, the whole, or should I say, the number of possible outcomes is 100. The desired outcome, which is the de facto ones, are 29, hence 29 out of 100.
Exactly, right? So it's the outcome the desired outcome, gonna divide that by the total number of outcomes, right? So what's the chance of selecting one that has a defect? So it's 29 out of every 100, right? So it's pretty much just representing that mathematically. So you're correct. All right, correct picture as well. Question 3. So in the figure above there, line M, which is this one, is parallel to line N, which is this one, and T intersects, which is this line, intersects M and N at, this point. What is the value of X? All right. So
Choice
anyone want to
D.
go?
Choice D.
Let's see. 180 minus.
Choice D, sir.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I shouldn't have said I agree, but yes, I agree. Does anyone have any different answers? Is it confusing for anyone? D, okay, yep, Jaden. Jaden says D as well. Okay, so Auden and Jerome, on the D panel, I'm guessing. Yeah, so is Jaden. All right. Okay, I'll just get into explaining it real quick. So what's happening here is, wait, what's up? You want to go for it?
Sir, the reason why we propose D, sir, is because angle
Wait,
N.
Auden, are you able to annotate on your screen? Are you able to like work it out? Is that possible?
I'm not certain.
Do you have
Can I?
like a little
I have
like
a pen.
pen?
I have pen and paper, but I don't think
Oh,
I can put
okay.
it on the screen.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Just go for it. Go for it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have my brother explain it? We're using the same computer.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
That's just Jerome gonna
Okay, sir.
explain it.
Well, the reason why we chose that is because line N is a straight line, so that the degree is 180, and then
Hmm.
it intersects it at the angle of 33 degrees.
Correct. Correct.
Minus 33 from 180 to get 147.
Okay, there you go. So
Let me finish that. What he forgot to mention is 30 angle 33 is equal to the line next to line X. So line X is equal to the line opposite line 33. So we find the value of that line, which is 147, which will be equal to the value of angle X.
okay, that is correct as well. So that's what this guy is essentially saying is this angle here is 33, right? Oh, where am I? Yeah, so this angle here is 33. And what's happening is this angle is actually, so this is actually called vertically opposite angles. When you have like this angle being equal to this angle and that angle being equal to that angle. So you have 33 here and 33 and 30, and this angle here called alternate angles. So when you got like a parallel line and then you've got a line cutting through, some people call them Z angles, but they're called alternate angles. So this is 33 degrees and that's going to be 33 degrees. So again, remember 33 is going to be vertically opposite to this, so it's going to be 33 as well. But from 180, if you check out 33, because this makes 180 degrees. So if you check out 33 degrees, it means your X is going to be 147. Also, 147 it corresponds to this on a parallel, in the row of parallel lines. So there's different ways to get into it. I know that's a very messy board, but just like Audin and Jerome said, yeah, those are called opposite exterior angles, exactly like Rutendo just said. So if this is going to be 147, if this is going to be 33, and then this is going to be 147, it means these two opposite exterior angles are 147. So you can find it that way as well. Or you can see there's a subtract and find 147 here. Forgetting how to write today. You can find 147 here, and then find 33 here when you subtract from 180, and then find 147 here and subtract from 180. Again, these are alternate angles. This would be 33. You can subtract 147, 33, 147 when you just subtracting from 180. So many ways to go around it. But yes, rectangle, that is correct. Opposite exterior angles. What is the y-intercept of the graph shown?
Sir, the answer is D.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we have a B, we have a D right now.
And the answer is D.
Okay. Okay, we have another D. All right.
Sir, can I explain?
Yeah, 0.8.
Okay. That's another D. Okay. Yeah, explain. Go for it. I love it when you guys explain.
Okay, sir. Well, the line, the curve crossed the y-axis at the point 8. But the reason it wouldn't be A is because whenever you're labeling the points on a graph, you are label the x value before the y value. So it has to be, so the 8 has to be in the second slot after the comma. It had to be D.
All right, because in the y-intercept, the y-intercept is where the graph intersects. Yeah, I agree as well. I agree as well, Kisha. I agree. Yeah. So just like you said, if you're it's a y-intercept, so it intercepts or cuts to the y-axis. So, but at the y-axis, which is this point, x is 0, right? So that's why you're saying the 0 has to be this side. So already we know that we are dealing with x is equal to 0, so we can cancel our a and b. We're dealing with these two. But at that point, what's the y value? Because we already know the x is always going to be 0 at the y-intercept. Same way at the x-intercept, at the point where the graph intercepts the x-axis, the x-intercept, y is always going to be 0. So you have y is equal to 0, y is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, and so on. So we know y is always going to be 0. We just have to deal with the x value. So here we know the x is always going to be 0. What is the y value? And we can see that it's at 8 there. So we have 0, 8. So that is correct. Thank you for that explanation. We move on to number 5. Move on to number 5. Why can I scroll down? Okay, there you go. Okay, so the total cost, okay, of a function f of x in dollars to lease a car for 36 months from a particular car dealership is given by f of x is equal to 36x plus 1,000, where x is a monthly payment in dollars. What is the total cost to lease a car when the monthly payment is $400? Okay.
I see.
How does this guy do it so quickly? No, let me see. I have to calculate it. So 36,000. One is 400. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I see the answer. Okay, so we have 1C. Anyone going in? Anyone with any
Yeah,
different
also found,
answers? Pardon?
also found C, 2,400 US dollars.
Okay, C as well. Okay, so we have 2 C's. Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, do you need an explanation?
Trying to see if there's anyone who. Okay, so I guess everyone is on C. Okay, so C is indeed the correct answer. And yeah, go for it.
All right.
Explain for them, and I'll be right in here as you go for it.
The question already told us that x is the number of months. No, the x is number of monthly payments, which is then $400. So we just multiply 400 by 36 and then add that result to 1,000, equaling C.
Okay, so exactly. So if you multiply, because we know that this is our monthly payment X, right? And the monthly payment, we're told that X is a monthly payment. And now we've been told that the monthly payment, which is X, is 400. So we just go in towards X and put 400, like he just explained, and multiply 36 by 400. And we're going to find out that that's 14,400. So when you add a 1,000 there, you're going to have 15,400. And our answer is indeed C. So now we can move on to the next question. So that's question 5. So we move on to question 6. All right. So it says each side of a square has a length of 45. What is the perimeter of the square? All right. To be easy, guys.
Sir?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is 180.
Okay. Anyone else finds an answer? Just say it out loud, or put it in the chat box. I'm just trying. Sorry.
180.
180. Yeah. You guys are doing fine, huh? Expecting perfect scores here. Perfect scores here.
So would you like me to explain?
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Yes, sir. It said that each side of a square has a length of 45. So perimeter is the end distance around the square. We know that a square has 4 equal sides. So simply multiply 45 by 4 equaling 180.
All right, that's correct. So even if you wanted to go the traditional way, right, which is perimeter is equal to 2 length times breadth, you're gonna have like you said, the sides are equal. So 45, you add that's 90 by 2, that's 180. Or like just like he said, you got 45 on one side, it's a square. So you just 45 by 4 because you got 4 sides. So 45 by 4 is 180, and that's indeed correct. So your answer for 6 is 180. Question 7. What is a positive solution? Okay, so I'm assuming we're gonna have two. Okay, so that means we are gonna have two solutions. So you can see already that this is gonna be a quadratic. All right, so guys, go for it. Let me solve this as well, and let me know what you find.
I think the answer is 5. 5?
5. Okay, so we got a 5 there. Let's see.
Sir, his answer is correct. The answer is 5.
Okay. Okay, yep. We have an answer. We have an answer. So we have 2 5s. Anyone else have anything?
Yeah, I also found 5 because the other one is actually negative, so it should be 5 since they're asking for the positive value.
Exactly. So you found positive 5 and negative 11, right? All right, so we are going to cross multiply this, right? This is as good as saying x over 1. So we have x squared plus 6x is equal to 55. All right, and we can bring the 55 or subtract 55 from both sides, rather, and see what is the product here is negative 55. The sum is 6. So the two numbers that multiply to negative 55 are gonna be positive 11 and minus 5. I don't know why I put 6. So I'm gonna take that out. Minus 5. So once you solve for this, you can find out that x is actually negative 11 and x is positive 5. So our positive solution is 5. All right. Anyone confused? Everyone okay?
Yes, sir. We all good. Let's keep going.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Question, and clear that. Question 8 now. Can I clear that, please? All right. An object travels at a constant speed of 12 centimeters per second. At this speed, what is the time in seconds it would take for that object to travel 108? Okay. Okay. Quick math in this one, I see. Expand this actually.
I think the answer is 9. 9A.
Okay. 9A. Wait, was that Chawana?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have two nines. Two nines. So you wanna explain why you found that?
Oh,
Mm,
my reasoning for why it's 9 is because it says that every second the object travels 12 centimeters. So after about, let's say, they said 108 seconds, basically you just have to divide 108 by 12 to find how many seconds the object traveled.
That is correct, right? So the way I see it is, I zoom out of this thing a little bit. So you have an object traveled 12 cent. So you've got distance and time basically, right? So 12 centimeters each second. So 1 second, 12 centimeters, right? But in 108 centimeters, what is the time? So you can cross multiply if you wanted to. So 12x is equal to 108, and then you say 108 divided by 12, which is actually 9, right? So that's exactly what Chawan was saying. So if you want to think of it in proportions like that, or in case you didn't see that, if you want to think of it in proportions like that, if that's helpful for you, that works as well. All right. Question 9. All right. So data set X is 59913. Data set Y is 5991327. Okay. So just because, okay, without having to think too much, okay. What would you guess the answer is? Let me know. Let me know. I'm loving the way you guys are interacting, actually making me feel like I'm just sitting back and I'm learning, from you guys. It's like, oh wow. I'm just trying to see if we're going to find any question that I can bring in like a quick trick or something. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can easily visualize this.
Yes,
The answer is C.
yes, sir.
So the question says the lists give the values in data sets X and Y. Which statement correctly compares the mean, okay, of data set X and the mean of data set Y? Okay, I thought it'd be a question like this. Okay, so we have 1C.
I'll go
Anyone
for
else?
B.
Okay, so we have 1C, 1B. Kisha. Where's Kisha?
Also,
I'm
also
in trouble
think
with
it's
Kisha today.
No man.
Chawan also thinks it's B. Okay. Oh, is it all right? That's Chawan, I think, yeah. So we have two B's, 1C. Where's Kisha?
No, see,
Right.
I said it is. No man.
Kisha, where are you? Kisha, where are you
Sorry,
at? Where are you at?
I apologize. B minute say, sir. Sorry.
Okay, so we're going back to B now. Okay. That's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Kisha. It's like bothering
Great.
like bothering Kisha today. All right. All right. So our answer is indeed B, just because I'm looking at this, right? I'm looking at this 5-9. Oops. I'm looking at this 5-9. And yep, Aldin's correct. That's B. So I'm looking at this like 59913. Have you guys noticed that 59913 is repeated here? So because it's exactly the same amount of values plus more, it means even the average is going to be higher because 27 takes the average higher just because these are the exact, like they are the exact data sets, but 27 takes it higher. So it means when you calculate this, right? So let me just actually do that real quick. 5 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13, that's a total of 36. So that's 36 divided by, we've got 4 numbers there, right? So 36 divided by 4, which is 9, right? But then on the second one, data set Y, we've got 5 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13, which is 36. So to 36, we're going to add 27, right? 36 plus 27 is 63. Okay, and then we're going to divide that by 5. That's 12.6. So we know that find mean, we find basically the sum of the values over the number of values. right? So let's just say sum of values over the number of values. I can't write today, but yes. So the sum of values in the first one is 5 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13, which is 36. There are 4 numbers there, so we have 9 on the, because this is the same, so we have 36 plus 27, which is 63. So for the second one, we have 63, but one more number, so that's 5. You divide that, we have 12.6. So we can see that the mean of the second one is larger. So the mean of X is less than the mean of data set Y. So the answer is A. But you could simply visualize that without having to actually calculate that. Okay, so we're looking at question 10 now. A rocket contained 467,000 kilograms or kgs of propellant before launch. Exactly 21 seconds after launch, 362,105 kgs of this propellant remained. On average, approximately how much propellant in kg did the rocket burn each second after launch? All right. So you guys try to give it a go. I'm going to try to solve it as well. My calculator right now and see what the answer is. Okay, so we have one answer choice. Jaden has given us one answer choice. You guys let me know what you think. Okay, that's another. Okay, so we have 2. Anyone else? Okay, so we have another A. Richard also brings in another A. So 4 is okay. I think we're doing fine. So I'll get right into it. So at the beginning, we have 467,000 kg of this item, right? At the beginning. But then after a while, this amount remains. So 362,105. So we can subtract these and just to see how much we've actually lost, because we're trying to see how much was it burning each second. So when we subtract this, we get 104,895. So this is what we had after 21 seconds. This is how much we lost, because after 21 seconds, this is how much remained, right? This is how much remained. So it means this is what we actually lost, 104,895. So this is what we lost after 21 seconds, but we're trying to see how much were we losing each second. So every 1 second, how much were we losing? So again, you can cross multiply using proportions. So it's basically 104,895 divided by 21 for us to find our X. And that's going to be 4,995. So our answer is A. All right. You guys are doing fine. Looks like you didn't struggle with that. So we are gonna move on to question 11. All right, question 11. Okay, I can kind of already see a trick here. Yeah, okay. So 4x plus 2 is equal to 12. What is the value of 16x plus 8? Let me see how you guys approach this one.
I think maybe they just multiplied by 4 from every should be, so the product of the first one was 12. We would also multiply it by 4, because the equation is actually like having a similar factor, which is 4. So 12 times 4, which is 48.
Okay, so we have a 48. Yep. Actually, we won't waste time in this one. Just get into it. Yes, audience. Yeah, that's correct. 48. 48 is actually correct. So yeah, that's what I did as well, right? So you know that 4x is equal to 10, right? Because if we subtract 2 from this side, like 12 minus 2 is gonna be 10. So we know 4x is equal to. So since 4x is equal to 10, we've seen that there's a common factor. If we multiply this by 4, we're gonna have 16x. So we know 16x is equal to. So you multiply side by 4, multiply side by 4. So we know 16x is equal to 40. So 16x, which is 40 plus 8, is just equal to 48, which is our B. So that's our answer. All right, good. Now we are gonna move on to question 12. All right, question 12. So an object It's kicked from a platform. The equation h is equal to negative 4.9 t squared plus 7t plus 9 represents this situation, right? Where h is the height of the object above the ground, and in meters, t seconds above the h is the height of the object above the ground in meters. T seconds after it is kicked. Which number represents the height in meters from which the object was kicked? All right.
Oh, it's D.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the answer is D.
Okay. Oh, do you guys want to give reasoning? Does anyone have a problem with this question? And if you do, that's also okay. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, for this one, I don't really know how it's D, to be honest.
Just believe it, huh? Just believe it. Man said that's by faith. It's by faith. I know it's D, just don't stress me, okay? D. All right. So
I think
the question, yeah.
well, sorry to interrupt, but I think
No, good.
my reason for why it's D is it says height after t seconds after it has been kicked. So if you are to insert 0, meaning that's before it has been kicked, if you are to insert 0 into the equation, the only useless variable that would remain is 9, which is representing the height.
Exactly. So if you're trying to find the height, because the equation is showing us the height after it's been kicked, right? But if you're trying to find the height when t is 0 and no one has kicked anything, since we're trying to find the actual height, so the height is before it's in the air, because the height will be once the boy is on a platform and then it's being kicked, right? It's going to be changing, right? You know, like projectile motion, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be changing. The height will be changing based on the time in seconds, right? It's going to go up and eventually it's going to fall down. You know, that whole shebang. But what is the original height? So it means it hasn't been kicked. It's still on the platform. It means the time is 0. So if we put a 0 here, this goes. We put a 0 here, this goes, and we remain with 9. So 9 so h is going to be equal to 9, and that's our height. Great. Cosmos, is that good?
Yeah, it's very much clear now because I think that's a concept that I really missed.
Nice. I'm glad it's making sense. What do we have in the chat? Okay, Aldin was just giving us his blessing that is deep. All right. Okay, so 4x squared minus 50x plus 126. The given equation defines the function f. For what value of x does this function reach its minimum? All right, let me see what you guys got for this one. There's a simple way to solve this question, actually. Okay, you guys let me know what you got when you get it.
Yeah, so me, I'm not really sure about this one. So
No problem. Respect that. We have a 58 from Rotendo. Okay. Rotendo. Use complete the square. Put the equation in vertex form. Stop using shortcuts. You're cheating right now. You're cheating, but that's smart what you've done. That is smart. That is smart what you've done. I see what you've done. But solve the question. Stop running away from solving the question. Solve the question. No, that's good. University doesn't really matter as long as you get the answer. But I agree with you. Actually, let me try complete the square for this. See how that will turn out. It's been long. X squared X. Let's see, so that I can explain to you guys the normal method and then show you the shortcut as well. The vertex formula, yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Is it negative b over 2a?
Exactly. So we find the minimum, you're just going to find the y value, right? So you're going to do actually the f of the y value, right? So in this case, we what I did was I did negative b over 2a, which is negative 50, which is negative 50, right? Because this is going to be ax squared plus bx. Sorry, my tablet keeps on checking. Plus c. So negative b is negative 50. A is 4, so 2 times 4, which is 8. So we have 50 over 8, just before, which is the same as 25 over 4. So that's the value of x. So if we find the value of x is just going to be negative b over 2a. And then you can also do f of, if you want to find the y value, you just substitute this back in there. So f of x will give you y. So you can do that. But yes, you're correct. It's negative b over 2a. That's the shortcut. A longer way to do it is to complete the square. Did anyone try to do that? Or put it in vertex form? Did anyone try to do that? Or does anyone want us to do that? Or are we satisfied? Okay. Assume we are satisfied then. Because no one is speaking. But yeah, you can just put it in vertex form. Vertex form looks something like this. I don't know what the actual letters are. I'm just going to put up my own letters. But the one that looks like that, that's vertex form essentially. I might have swapped some letters. This B might actually be a K, but you get it's the same concept. All right. Question 14. Wait, first of all, is everyone okay with question 13?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So that's if they ask you for the minimum, you're supposed to find the y value, by the way, but because they asked you what value of x, just do negative b over 2a. If they ask you for the value of y, then you do negative b over 2a and then you just plug it in, because remember, as a function, f of x is equal to y. So x value will give you the y value, the output. All right. So a small business owner budgets 2,200 to purchase candles. The owner must purchase a minimum of 200 candles to maintain the discounted pricing. So this is looking like a lot of words just confuse us, but it's okay. The owner must purchase 200 candles, right? And if the owner pays 4.9 to purchase small candles and 11.6 to purchase large candles, what's the maximum large candle? What's the maximum number of large candles that the owner can purchase? Did I just press some reaction? I'm seeing balloons going on my face. All right. I got distracted. What is the maximum number of large candles the owner can purchase to stay within the budget and maintain the discounted pricing? Yeah. So yeah, let's go for it. So it's gonna be, let's see. So, all right, you guys let me know when you're there.
Yeah, I found 182.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also found 182.
What's the point on 82? Let's go find 182. What are we going to do about it, guys? Oh man. All right. 182. Yes, 182 is 182. Yes, that is correct. So tight, guys. Yeah.
Do explain, please. Read something about we can confuse pathway.
You say what?
We confuse halfway.
Oh, halfway. Okay, no problem. We'll break it down. It's just I think what seems confusing here is just the wording, but these are just simultaneous equations, right? So it says what does it say? It says a small business on a budget's 2,200, right? 2,200. So this guy, but this guy is going to go down a little bit. 2,200 to purchase candles, right? So he must purchase a minimum of 200 candles. So once he's done buying these candles, it should only be 200. The owner pays 4.9, so we're going to say 4.9 for large candles. For each large candle. So if you bought one large candle, it would be $4.9. If you bought two large candles, it would be 4.9 times 2. So we're going to keep this L as a variable for large candles just because we can. And then he spends 11.6 for small candles. So 11.6, one candle. You could buy 11.6 times 2 for 2 candles, and so on. But all this should what's his budget? So all this should be less or equal to 2,200 because that's the budget. But at the same time, how many candles does he want to buy? A minimum of 200. So this together should be 200 or more, right? And we can just solve these as equations to make our life easier, and then we just interpret it based on the question, if that helps. So we can just solve them as equations. So we're trying to find the number, the maximum number of large candles. So that's L. So what I can do is I can just, in this equation, I can just make S the subject of the formula. So I have 200 minus L, so that I can substitute that here. All right, so when I do that, I'm going to have 4.9 L plus 11.6. So S is now 200 minus L, so I'm going to put 200 minus L there, and this should be equal to 2,200. Yeah, though initially we say that should be less or equal to, right, 2,200. But yeah, so what we're doing now is 4.9 L, I lost my pencil. Come on, where's my pencil? 1 second, there you go. So 4.9 L plus 11.6 by 200, which is, let's get my calculator, 11.6 by 200, that's 2320, right? Let's undo that. 2320 minus 11.6 L, that's equal to 2,200. All right, so I can take the 2320 to that side if I want to, or subtract it from both sides of the equation. And then also I can do 11.6 minus 4.9 L. Oh, actually, wait, I swapped out this. My bad, I swapped out this. This is 200 minus L, and that's your S. 11.6. 11.6 is for the large candles, and 4.9 is for the small candles. Why didn't even tell me I swapped out my variables, you guys? Man, let's replace our variables. Let's replace our 4.9 is for the small candles. 4.9 is for the small candles. Where's my pencil? Okay, do you see that? Do you see the mistake I made here?
Yeah.
4.9 is for the small candles, and 11.9 is for the large. 11.6 is for the large candles. Oh, my goodness. All right. And the small and large candles should still be equal to 200. So what we are trying to do is, okay, this is still 200 minus L. Okay, so everything is still the same. We just need to plug in the right. I'm just going to erase this part of it, erase this part of it. Okay, I think that should be okay. All right, so let's go for that again. All right, so we know that our S is equal to 200 minus L, right? And so we can substitute that so that we can find our L, which is our large 11.6 L, which is our large candles. All right, so 4.9 by 200, this should be 980. This is what I found here, minus 4.9 L plus 11.6 L is equal to 2,200. All right, so 11.6 L, these are like terms, minus 4.9 L. You can get your calculator if you if you're not trusting your mental math that day. That's 4.9 L. This is 6.7. 6.7. All right, so we have 6.7 L. I'm going to write that down here, 6.7 L. And then we're going to subtract 980. All right, we're going to do that, subtract 980. And then we have 2,200 minus 980, which is 1220. Okay, so 1220 divided by 6.7 to find our L value is going to be 182.08 something. All right, so the question is, what's the maximum number? So the maximum number we can get is, because we can have 182 candles, but we can't have 182 and a 0 point something candle. That's not an actual candle. So the maximum number of large candles we can have there is 182. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Audin, do you see it? Do you see it, Audin?
Yeah.
All right. Where are we? Let me clear this. Clear this real quickly. All right. So we move on to question 15. Oh, my battery is low. Move on to question 15. Just gonna get a charger real quick. Question 15. You guys, in the linear function f of 0 is 8 and f of 1 is 12. Okay, so which equation defines f? All right, so there's a linear relationship there, and you guys see what you can do to find the actual equation. We have one answer already. That's D. Okay, we have two. That's D. All right, loving this. 1 second.
Sir, D.
Okay, we have another D and another D in the chat box as well. That's good. Okay, my thing just low. Okay. Any explanation?
Sir, just check the answer choices and we'll find that D works. And there's only one answer choice that works.
I didn't say don't stress me out. Okay, the answer is D. Look at the answer choices. Okay, you can tell by looking. No, D is actually correct. So this is how I solved it, right? So we've got some pair values, right? We have 0 when we have X and Y. So we have 0 and 8, and we have 1 and 12. You guys agree? Let me write that better. Right, so we have 0, 8, and we have 1, 12. So the equation of a line is essentially y is equal to mx plus b, sometimes plus c, depending on who's teaching it. But essentially you've got, let's try to find our b. The easiest way to find our b is get this one, this set of points. So our x is 0. It means this whole part will be 0. And then our y is 8. So it means our b is equal to 8. Okay, it's fine. So what our b is 8. But what's our m? Our m is the gradient. So the rise in y over the rise in x. So the rise in y from 8 to 12 is 4, divided by the rise in x, which is 1. So 4 over 1 is the same as 4. So our equation is y is equal to m, with m is 4, 4x plus, what's our b? Our b is 8. So that's our answer. All right, so that's how you solve it. If you wanted to solve it, you know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of questions in the SAT from my experience, you know what I mean? You don't have to do too much. You can solve it like using tricks or just, you know, observation sometimes, or by elimination, or like how Audin said, you know, you just look here and then, you know, like, okay, this is not an answer. Okay, so now we look at question 16. So the function f of w is equal to 6w squared gives the area of the rectangle in square feet. Okay, if its width is 6 times its, if its width and its, if its width is w feet and its length is 6 times its width. Okay, so the function f of w is 6w squared. The function f of w equals to 6w squared gives the area of a rectangle in square feet, right? So if its width and its length is 6 times its width, okay, its width is w feet and its length is 6 times its width. So which of the following is the best interpretation of, okay, f of 14 is equal to 1176. Okay, so remember the width is w and the length is 6 times its width. Okay, but the area is 6w squared. You know, do with that information what you want. Yeah. Okay, so we have two answer choices from Chawana and Rutendo. Let's go. Any other answer choice?
Sir, A is correct.
A is correct. Okay, so we have 3 people saying A right now. Okay, so let's look at it. So the question says 6w squared gives the area. All right, so w is x and 6w squared is the area. The length, yes, the length is 6 times the width, but 6w squared is the area. In this case, can you notice that w is the width, this whole thing is the area, gives the area. Yes, the width is 6 times the length, rather, is 6 times the width. But we know that the area is 6w squared. That's the area, 6w squared. The whole thing, f of w gives you the area. So it means f of w, in this case, 14 is w, and 6w squared is 1176. So it means the width is 14, right? That's w, and 1176 is the area in squared. All right, so that was just supposed to kind of maybe trick people or whatever, but not you guys though, not you guys. You guys said no, we don't get tricked like that. I love that. All right, let's look at question 17. Let's look at question 17. Looks interesting. Let me scroll up some more. Oh, sorry. My bad. Let's look at question 17. Yeah, let's look at question 17. I don't even know what I was looking at myself. So that's the circle here. Let's go to center. The circumference is 144 pi. and the diameters are PR and QS. The length of arc PS is twice the length of arc PQ. Oh, okay, so this is twice the length of this. PS is twice the length of PQ. What is the length of QR? Okay. B, Rotendo. Rotendo's quick. Rotendo's on fire today, Rotendo, huh? Feeding sads up, giving you energy, huh? Let's see. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. We have one B. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying. I'm just saying you're nah, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. I'm just playing.
Sir B.
Okay, we have two B's. To be or not to be. Yeah.
So you have two B's. The other reason.
Okay, yeah. He's correct. Two B's, guys. Two B's. Any other person. Guys, I'm so tired today, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Doing this paper. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to give some energy. Like I'm very energetic, but deep down I'm like, oh, let's go.
Sir, you need explanation?
Okay. I don't think anyone else is giving us answers, so either everyone understands or is confused or something. But yes, Audin, Rotendo, and whoever else said B. Yes, you guys are correct. Answer is B, indeed. Even before Audin goes there, just in case anyone is like confused, remember the trick is the circumference is 144 pi. Remember, circumference is pi diameter, and remember PS is twice PQ. Did I lie? Yeah, PS is twice PQ. Yeah. All right, Audin, break it down.
All right, the question already told us the circumference, so we need not worry about that. 144. However, we can slice it into 6. How do we do that? If SP is twice the length of PQ, it means that.
Wait, sorry, let me move with you so that everyone can visualize what you're saying. So he said SP, which is from here to here, right? Is twice
Yes,
the
sir.
length of PQ. That's what he's talking about. Yes, carry on.
All right, in that is doubled. We can say that is a portion divided by 3. If we draw a line from point O to the middle of SP, that divides that segment into 2. And that is half of it, means that the other side is another
You mean
3.
this one? Wait, hold up. Let me get a different color. Let me give it a different color. Sorry. So I'm just trying to make sure everyone's following. Sorry. I'm gonna be doing that. Sorry, Alvin. Sorry.
No problem.
You just need to make sure everyone's understanding this one. Let me use red. Yeah. So you said I draw a line from the center, right?
Yes, straight to the left.
This. Oh, this is my right. My bad. What I did prior. Yeah. Right.
Strictly directly to the left, as in completely right, completely to the left.
Okay.
We
Boom.
draw a line from yes, just like that.
Boom.
That will help
Yeah.
us to visualize that is divided into 3. If the left side is divided into 3, so is the right. 3 and 3 is 6. So we divide 144 into 6, we get 24. If we're looking for the
Okay.
length of QR, we notice that QR is 2 segments. 2 times 24, 48.
Okay. Do you guys get that? Do you guys get that? Get it kind of, I mean, in a different. That's an smart way of doing it because 2. So what he's saying is, we know that the diameter is 144, right? That's brilliant, by the way. We know that the diameter is 144. So, by the way, if the diameter is 144, it means SQPR. remember circumference is 144. Sorry, my bad. Circumference is 144. Circumference is the same as pi diameter, right? So if our answer is 144, check that out. 144 pi, it means our diameter is 144. So what he's saying is if this PQ, if PS is twice PQ, so it means if we cut this into half, it's basically like, let's think of it this way. What are we trying to find? We're trying to find QR, right? Yeah. So if PQ, if PS is twice PQ, it means this is, when we do this, this is as good as PQ, this is as good as PQ, this is as good as PQ, this is as good as, you know, we can also cut this in half. That's what he's trying to say. Like, but all these are basically like PQs. Does that make sense? So if the whole thing is 144, and now we have 6 divisions, you do 144 divided by 6, which is 24. So for you to find QR, you're going to do like from here to here. It means the radius is 24 plus another 24, that's 48. Again, just to take that back, what Audin is saying is, again, remember, we've been given 144, right, as the 144 pi as the circumference, but our circumference formula is d pi. Okay, so if it's d pi and we have 144 pi, it means our 144 is d. All right, and so what that simply means is our diameter is d. So let me just run that back real quick. Our diameter is d. Our diameter is d, and so if our diameter is d, right, and we know that SP is twice PQ, it means if we, is that me in green? Oh yeah, that is me. Sorry, that is me. I'm bad. I was about to ask Audin, why are you drawing green stuff on the, it's me. All right, so if we divide this into half, it means now this is as good as PQ. This is the same size as PQ, it's the same size as PQ. But notice something. When we've done this, we've also we've made what do you call it? We've made a radius, right? So what Audin did, which was smart, was just dividing this, right, and creating the radius that side, completing it, which is also like by the way, radius is half the diameter, right? So if our diameter is 144, let's think of it this way. It means our radius is 72, right? So let's think of it this way, actually. Let's think of it this way. If this helps people. So we've divided that. I'm trying to see if I can do this in a whole different way. Oh, and that's actually why they've input 72 to confuse people. All right, that makes a lot of sense. College board can be mean with it sometimes. Right. So the simplest way, just like Audin said, you've got your divisions. You can see the 6 equal divisions. You divide 144 by 6, and you have 24 pi. So since the radius is 24 pi, yeah, gonna do or rather this distance here is 24 pi. You're gonna do I'm saying this distance and you guys can see. Yeah, this distance here, every segment here is 24 pi. You're gonna do, to find QR, you're gonna do 24 pi plus another 24 pi. Is that clear with everyone? Is that clear with everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Everyone is okay, then that's great. And that's great. We can move on to question 17. 18. There's actually so many ways to do this. So okay, no, don't confuse it. But I had set up an equation which was like essentially saying, you know, that's if anyone's interested. 2 times PQ is equal to, so I had done an equation here that says 2 times PQ plus PQ, because all of them are the same as PQ. And let me actually maybe let me write that down in case you guys are interested in seeing how I did it. Let me put my paper right here. Put my paper right here. If you guys are interested in the way I did it. So I started that way as well, and you see that, can you guys see that PS is the same as 2 times PQ? Do you guys agree?
Yes.
All right. So what I did was 2 times PQ plus PQ. So all this, this is actually the same as Aldine's, but I guess just his is way more straightforward. So I'd seen that, okay, if this is going to be the same as that and this, then it means 2 times PQ plus PQ is going to be equal to 72 pi, because we're going to have the diameter. Remember, if the diameter is 144, we're going to try to divide this into like half of the circle, right? Because PR, which is this segment here, and QS, these are the diameters, right? And we know that PS plus PQ is going to give you the diameter. So what I had done was, this is 3PQ, because PS is the same as 2PQ. So I'm going to put PQ here plus PQ, and then this is going to be equal to 3 over 3PQ is equal to 72 pi. So I'm going to divide 3 both sides, and I'm going to be given the value of PQ is going to be equal to 24 pi. So if we know that this whole thing is 24 pi right here, one segment here, then we know that we are going to have to do double that to get, there's so many different ways to do it. But yeah, just in case you guys are interested in that. We move on to question 18. A company that provides whale watching tours takes a group of 21 people at a time. The company's revenue is $80 per adult and $60 per child. So whenever you see this, think simultaneous equations. Already. All right, so the company revenue is $80 per adult and $60 per child. If the company's revenue for one group consisting of adults and children was $1,440, how many people were in the group of children? All right, so you guys let me know when you find it. But essentially, whenever you see this, you see that it takes 21 people at a time. Children plus adults will be 21 people. You know that it's $60 per child, $80 per adult, and the total is $1,440. Remember that the money is $60 per child, $80 per child, $1,440. The money is in one equation, children plus adults. So the people, children plus adults were 21 people. So you group the like things together, group people together, and you group money together. So you guys let me know what you find real quick. Let's find real quick. I'm trying to find children.
I think the answer is 12.
Okay, so we have C right now. 12. Anyone else?
Sir, 9.
Okay, so we have 9, that's B. Anyone else? Okay, we have another B, and then we have a C again. So we have a B and a C from the chat. Anyone else? Anyone else? We have a C. Okay. We have another C. Okay, we have. Okay, that's another C. We have a 9 and a 12, so we have a B and a C. Okay. Okay, so using this simultaneous equation, just real quick, what I'm gonna do is, we're watching the 21 people at a time, right? All right, so we're trying to find children. So since we're trying to find children, I'm just going to say, you agree that A is the same as 21 minus C, right? So I'm going to substitute that on the next one, all right? 60C plus 80, 21 minus C. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I just want to stay with C's. So that when I find my answer, I should just remain with C, which is for children. So 60C plus, I did 80 by 21 and I found 1680. 80 by C would be 80C, and that's equal to 1440. All right, so 60 minus 80 will be negative 20C. I'm going to take that side, it's going to be negative. I'm going to subtract 1680 from both sides. So 1440 minus 1680 is negative 240, right? So we can cancel the zeros here. Negative 2 into 24 is actually 12. So our answer is C. All right. Is everyone okay? All right, so we move on to question 19. Yeah. All right, I got your message, Alan. I got your message. Had we started earlier, that 30 minutes, we definitely would have been done by then. But let's see. We're gonna try to move fast. Let's see. Okay, so the function h is defined by h of x is equal to 4x plus 28. The graph of that y is equal to h of x in the xy plane has an x-intercept a comma 0 and the y-intercept 0 comma b, where a and b are constants. What's the value of a plus b? Okay, we're gonna try to move fast. I want to see if we can finish this before Jamaican time 5. Let's see, in the next 20 minutes with 8 questions.
I think the answer is A.
Okay, you think the answer is A, and why do you think the answer is A? I like the reason. I like the speed. I like the speed. Okay, why do you? Okay, so we have another in the chat. We have another A. Why do you think the answer is A? Real quick.
That's like by using substitution. The first coordinates say x is A and y is 0. So you're going to say 0 equals 4x plus 28. You subtract 28 from both sides and then divide by 4. You get 7. Then the other one says x is 0 and y equals b. So there again, just substitute and you remain with 28. And since the first one, A is negative, so it's negative 7. Negative 7 plus 28 is going to give you 21.
Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what he said, right? You substitute a comma 0, so your y is 0, your x is A. you solve, you have -7. You do the same thing for the other one. Your x is 0. So if your x is 0, then this whole part is cancelled. So it means your what am I doing? Oh yeah. So your y-intercept at 0, b, right? So your y is b. So it means your b is 28. And then you add a plus b, right? Which is 28. Your a plus b, which is -7 plus 28, which is the same as 28 minus 7, which is 21. So your answer is a. All right, let's go. Question 20. Question 20, question 20, question 20, question 20. Let me clear this. Clear this. All right, question 20 says one of the factors of this polynomial 2x cubed plus 42x squared plus 208x plus x plus b, where b is a positive constant. Oh, one of the factors of 2x cubed plus 42x squared plus 208x is x plus b, where b is a positive constant. What is the smallest value of b? All right, what is the smallest value of b, guys? Okay, Cosmos has given us an answer. Anyone else? Okay, Nintendo giving us the same answer. All right, due to time, Cosmos, do you want to explain how you found that?
Oh yeah, sure. So to say, one of the factors of that function is x plus b. So it means that b is actually a factor of this number, where if you find value of x, include it in here, it should give you 0. So what I did was to actually just solve for the values of x. I first started by simplifying it by removing the x's, and then I subdivided it to.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do that. Removing the x's, so you're factoring x.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
you remain with 2x squared plus 42x plus 208. Yes. Then again, you divide the 2 to just get rid of,
Okay, so you have x squared plus 21x
plus 104.
04.
Yeah. Then I use quadratic equation because I didn't really like find two numbers quickly in my head. So I had to solve it. Yeah. I found -13 and -8. And if you arrange them to x plus b, it gives you x plus 13.
X plus 13.
Yeah, x plus 8, which of
okay.
And the smallest one 8.
There you go. All right, you guys see that? That's how I can't think of any other faster way of doing this. Is there a faster way of doing this? Oh, that's exactly how I do it. I can't think of any other faster way of doing this by factoring. Okay, so that's question 20. Question 21. In the given system of equations, A is a positive constant, right? So the system has exactly one distinct rule solution. What is the value of A? So remember, we already have a value of Y, guys. So yeah, but what is the value of A? Go, guys. Let's go, guys. We only have 6 more questions, guys. We only have 6 more questions. Pardon?
16, sir.
What did you find?
16.
Hey, sorry, bro. I was upset. I said 16. I was gonna be used. Okay, so we have 116. I found something else, but does anyone else have?
Fraction.
Yep, I found a fraction as well. Let me just get a fraction. Okay. Anyone else found anything else? Joanna is like not too sure, you know. Say put this answer with the skull emoji. Said, I'm not too sure, Rich. But let me put this for control. You're close. You're down by 3. Yeah, up by 3 rather. And I see how you got 16. I know how you got 16. Were you using the discriminant?
Yes, sir.
That's smart. It's just been so long. B squared minus 4AC. All right. Rotendo, solve the question. What will give us the value? 64. Fine. So giving us an equation is to solve 64 minus 4 by 1.5 plus a is equal to 0. Let's see. So that's 64. 4 times 1.5 is 6 minus 6 plus a is equal to 0. So a is equal to 58. Cosmos, do you want to explain? How you found 14.5? Do you want to explain how you found 14.5?
Okay, yeah, kind of. I can try. So since the first equation says that y is negative 1.5, and then you have the second one down there. So for the second equation, we can just replace where there's y with negative 1.5.
Okay.
We take everything on one side, and yeah.
X squared plus 8x plus
Yeah.
a plus 1.5 is equal to 0.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then using the discriminant rule of b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Since they say that it's got one solution, so we say b squared is equal to 0.
Yes, b squared minus 4
ac is equal to 0.
0. That's the discriminant. Yes.
Yeah. So in our case, the b should be 8 squared minus 4 times our a we have is 1, and our constant is actually a is equal to 0.
Yep, our constant. What's our constant?
A.
Okay, just a.
I'm not sure. I think a. I don't know.
What? How did you do? What did you put for a? You put just a.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's go. Let's see.
It's equal to 0. It's actually not 14.5. It's actually 16. I just found 16.
You found 16, and yeah.
Oh wait, no. The constant is a plus 1.5.
There you go.
Sorry.
So this is how you guys are finding 16, right? Because the constant is let me write this properly. So remember that this is 8x plus a. Remember that discriminant, like you said, is equal to b squared minus 4ac. But then
Yes.
in here the coefficient is 1, the coefficient of x is 8, for example, in this particular case, and then the constant is a. But when you bring the constant is any value where there's where x is to the power 0, because all this is a plus 1 times x to the power 0. You know, this is as good as x squared plus 8x plus a plus 1.5 this is x to the power 2, this is x to the power 1, and this is as good as x to the power 0, which is the same as 1, right? So
Yeah.
so okay, now let's go on. So now we know that the constant is a plus 1.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what Rutendo was telling us as well, and of course, yeah, and just so so let's go on. Let's go on. All right, so everyone is with us right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, Cosmos, go on.
Oh yeah, 64 minus. So you say 4a plus minus.
Oh my goodness, sorry.
4 times 1.5 minus 6.
So we have 64
64 minus
4
4a.
minus 6, right?
Yes, minus 6 is equal to 0. Yeah.
Okay.
So from there,
Yeah, 4a
yeah,
is equal to
4a
64
is
minus
equal
6
to
is
58.
58.
Yeah,
right?
58. Yes.
So 58 over 4, guys, and then you can simplify that if you want to 29 over 2. All right, which is the same as 14.5. So yes, you are correct. Pretend was feeling this to finish solving. So she said, here's the equation, how did solve it? So, okay, cool. We'll solve it. All right. So just in case anyone doesn't understand why we're using b squared minus 4ac, this is called the discriminant. And what it means is that when this is equal to 0, it means we only have one solution. What does it mean when it's greater than 0?
More than 2.
Okay, so one solution, multiple, right? More than 2. And what does it mean when it's less than 0?
One solution.
No, when it's less than 0, it means that no real solutions. When it's less than 0, there are no real solutions. If you think about it, this makes sense. When you guys look at you guys remember the quadratic formula? Have you guys ever noticed that the quadratic formula is made up of the discriminant?
Mm,
Can you see that? Imagine if this was negative, what would happen? It means we don't have any real solution. So you see where that's coming from?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. Okay. Let's move. Question 22. We can finish this real quick, guys. Question 26. A function f is given which table values represent y is equal to f of x minus 3. So the whole function minus 3, guys. Okay, the whole function minus 3. I'm going to decrease this a little bit so you can see everything. Real quick. This should be quick. We're almost done with the section, guys. It's up to 27. We're almost done.
So that's A.
Okay, so we have an A. Is there anyone else? And then we'll move straight to the explanation. Is there anyone else? Then we have one A. We have a B. Okay, we have a B. Anyone else? Which of the table values represent y is equal to f of x, not f of x minus 3, but the whole f of x, guys, the whole function, decrease it by 3.
Sir?
Uh-huh.
Got nothing. Sir. Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, isn't the fact that with f of x minus 3, wouldn't the answer be A?
No, and I'll tell you why. And I see why you might see that though. Chawana, you're onto something. Do you want to explain? Guys, I'm just kind of the person who delayed us to come to this, who delayed us by almost almost 30 minutes while waiting for hasn't even showed up. We should have just started because I know like Audin and Jerome have to go somewhere, and I'm just feeling bad because we're left with like 5 questions, which we could have been done if we had that 30 minutes. But anyway, it's okay. Tawana, do you want to go for it?
The reason I've said the answer is B is like just substitute. It says y equals f of x minus 3. So you have to first solve for what f of x is after substituting in x and then subtract 3. And then since you've already been given the table of contents, the answer you get for each value of y after solving for x, for each value of y after subtracting 3 will give you negative 3.
We'll give you negative 3
Yes.
for each of the values.
Yes.
Okay, so first you have to find f of x, right? How do we do that?
Substitution.
Okay, what are we substituting, Tawana?
Or substituting x into the variables for x into the function.
Okay, so we're substituting the variables of x, right? So have you noticed one good thing about this question, guys? The variables of x are the same. Look at A, B, C, D. Have you noticed they're the same?
Yes.
So that makes it a lot easier for us, right?
Yes.
So we'll substitute. Okay, so let's try. We try substituting negative 6 because we've got negative 6. We've got negative 6. We've got negative 5, and we've got negative 4. Okay, I can write a little bit better now. We've got negative 6, we've got negative 5, and we've got negative 4. So when you substitute negative, sorry?
I think there's an easier way to do this since we're like running on time.
Yeah, okay. This should be 4.
Since each value of x, like if you had substitute 4 into the equation, it would be 4 minus 4, giving you 0. And everything multiplied by 0 is 0. Same goes with 5, same goes with 6.
And
so
so go ahead. I think yeah, you're cooking. Go ahead.
So yes, if you had substitute each variable of x into either one of these, the outcome will be 0. And then since it's 0 regardless of the value of x which we've been given, we just subtract 3, and it's just going to be 3 for each y.
Okay, yeah. So actually, I want to see how you with the whole substitution thing, which is what might come to you intuitively, right? Like substitute. So for example, negative 6. If I substitute the principle here, right? The principle here is, do you guys know why when you have a quadratic equation, right? Let me just teach you a principle. I know we have like 1 minute till these guys go, but I think if you guys are okay, I think we can finish this because we're only left with like 4 questions after this. But this is an important principle, right? So when you're dealing with quadratic equations, you always reach a point where you've got something by something. Let's do this is equal to 0, and then you're going to say, let's say if this was, let's say, let's back it up. If this was A and this was, let's say, B, you're going to say A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0, and then you're going to find the value of, you're going to equate the 2 separate parts, and then you find the value, right? Do you know why we equate them? Do you know why we equate this to 0 and this to 0? Does anyone understand why?
No, sir.
First of all, do you guys understand my question? When you solve for a quadratic, you always reach a stage where you have like x plus 5. For example, maybe you have, let's say, x plus 5 and then you have x minus 2 is equal to 0, and then you're going to say, okay, so x plus 5 is equal to 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, and then you're going to say x is equal to -5, and then you're going to say x is equal to 2. But do you know why you equate this part to 0 here, and why you equate this other part to 0? Do you guys understand the reasoning, like why you do that in the first place? Can anyone tell me why you do that? Okay, so it's a simple principle, right? If you've got a times b is equal to 0, let's think about it just a bit logically, right? If you've got a times b is equal to 0, that simply means for you to get for you to get a product of anything equal to 0, what does that mean? It means one of the numbers should be 0, or both of them should be 0. Do you guys see where I'm heading with this? No, I thought I'm cooking, guys.
No,
I thought I'm cooking. So, okay, but you agree that when you have a quadratic x plus whatever, you equate them to 0, right? When you have a quadratic like equation that's equal to 0, you have, let's say, I'll just run that back. You have x plus 5, and then you have x plus 2, and then when you have an equation equal to 0, you equate its individual part to 0. You agree, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why you do this is because this means x plus 5 times x plus 2. So whenever you have anything times anything is equal to 0, it means either A is 0 or B is 0. It's either or they're both 0. Because for you to get 0, when you multiply something, when you multiply something by something to get 0, it means one of them has to be 0, or both of them have to be 0. That's the only way you can get 0. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So what it means, what Cosmos did here, right? And I know he wasn't even thinking about it this way, but what he did initially, right, was for you to find the value of f of x, right? So he's trying to equate this to 0, basically, right? So he plugged in. So it means x plus 6 is equal to 0. X plus 5 is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0, or whatever, and then when you substitute them, right? And let's actually go a quicker way. When you look at these guys, we've got -6, -5, and -4. These are the same throughout. Notice something. If your x is 5, if your x, like in this case, your x is -5, right? If your x is -5, it means your factor was x plus 5. If your x is, let's say, your x is +2, it means before that, it means your factor must have been x plus 2, right? Have you noticed that?
There's x minus 2.
Yeah, it was for you to get yeah, you're right. For you to get +2, it means it was -2, x minus 2, right? So in this particular case, the factors, you notice something. We have negative, negative, positive. You have positive, positive, negative. So it means it makes a lot of sense that when you substitute -6 and -5, +4, you're going to get 0. So essentially what Cosmos is saying is when you look at this, you can solve it the way he solved it, which is substitute. When you substitute all this, you're going to get 0 anyway. You're going to get 0 anyway, because you can see that judging by the way the equation is set up, you're going to get 0. And then that will be f of x. So when you do that, you do f of x minus 3, f of x minus 3, and that should give you -3. Or you can just look at it simply and say, oh, this is going to be, what happens when x is -6? Oh, x is -6 gives you 0. So if this is 0, 0 times this will be 0, 0 times that will be 0. So f of x is going to be equal to 0. You guys understand?
Yeah.
And then what's f of x minus 3? 0 minus 3 is -3. Okay, fine. Let's try with -5. -5 here will give you 0. So 0 by this will be 0, 0 by that will be 0. So it's 0. That's f of x, remember. That's f of x. So minus 3 will be -3. Okay, fine. Again, f of x is equal to, we put -4, +4 rather. We put +4 there. Okay, put +4 here. We have 4 minus 4. This part becomes 0. 0 by 0 by 0 by this, by that will always give you 0. So f of x is 0, but what's 0 minus 3? It's negative 3. Okay, so the answer is B. I'm sorry for the lengthy explanation there. I just, I wanted, at least Cosmos gave me the wow. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm cooking right now. I felt like I was cooking. But I just feel like that's a very important principle that we actually understand, but we don't really think about it too much. Okay, I guess we can cruise through this. For the function of the function q, the value q of x decreases by 45% for every increase in the value of x by 1. If q of 0 is 14, which of the equation defines q? All right, feel free to pitch in. Feel free to pitch in. This is the general form of a exponential. Okay, equation. Shawana says the answer is C. Okay, does anyone else say anything different? I'm going to, oh, you guys are, yeah, nice. C, nice. Shawana, do you want to, or Rotendo, can you hear me? I know I muted you because I was getting feedback, but do you want to give us the answer for this one? Do you want to give us the explanation? Okay, Shawana, do you want to give us the explanation?
To be fair, I'm not. I also don't know why, but I also know that that's the correct answer. So
that happens in the SAT a lot. As long as you're confident. Sorry. These guys are calling me for soccer, man. Calling me for football. All right. We have who else answered this? Cosmos, you wanna come in again? Troubled you a lot today, huh? Cosmos is like, bro, it's midnight, okay? I'm just trying to sleep, bro. Please stop.
No, sorry. I think this one is just like a basic definition of exponential decay. Using the equation of y is equal to a open bracket 1 minus r and then to the power t. So here they're saying that for the function it decreases by 45%. So for you to find the equation, you have to look at what it would be after it has already like decreased. So you say y is equal to, and here they've mentioned that if x is 0, meaning initially like before it started decreasing, that was the initial value, which is 14.
Yeah.
And then you say open bracket, you say 1 minus 45, it will be into a percentage, which is 0.45, and you remain with 0.55, and then the time is actually x.
That's actually correct. That's I don't know if you guys go what you're saying, but that's actually a very straightforward and good explanation, right? So this is the general form, and I know the reason why I said y minus r is because he said y minus 1 minus r because you're doing a decay, right?
Decay.
And yeah, that's decay. Smart. And if it's
exponential
growth, that's the word. It can be English and math at the same time. It's conflict. Yeah. So if it's a growth, you're doing 1 plus, right? But I like to think of it as this is just a general form. Y is equal to a times b to the x. So again, I'll just do this real quick. So a is the initial value, guys. B is the rate. Okay, b is the rate. X is in this case the time, right? Remember, b is the rate. What's the rate? The rate is a decrease by 45%. If I had 20 phones, right? I had 20 phones for some reason. I don't know why I have 20 phones in this explanation, but if I had 20 phones, 50% of 20, which is half, is 10, right? So if I ended up having 10 phones extra, now I have 30. So it means I have 20 phones, but I increased by 50%. It means I should have 30 phones, right? So can you guys quickly do 20 by 1.5 and tell me your result? Just real quick.
So you said 20 by 1.5?
Yeah.
30, sir.
30.
Right. So have you noticed what's happening? remember I said I have 20 phones, but 50%, which is half, is 10 phones, right? So now I have 30 phones because I have, from 20, I've moved on plus 50%. Why? Because 1 is 100%, right? 100% is 100 over 100. 100 over 100 is 1. It's 1. So when I get a 50, it means initially I had 100, but now I have a 150. 150 over 100 is the same as 1.5. So whenever you have an increase, it's always 1 point something because it's going up. So if I had 5% increment, it was going to be 1.05, but I have 50%. If I had 20 phones and now I've decreased by 10%, it means, I mean, by 50%, by half, it means now from 20, the original value, I should move to 10 phones, right? Because I had 20 initially, but now I've gone down by 50%. I should have 10 phones. So you notice that if you do 20 times 0.5, you're going to have 10. It means I initially had 1, but now I've lost the 0.5. In short, I had 100, but I lost the 50. So now I have a 50. So I have a 50%, which is the same as 0.5. So it's the same thing that's going on here. We know that our rate is going to be 45%. 45% is the same as 0.45. But when you take that away from 1, is 0.55. So I know that already our answer is just going to be C without having to think too much. And that's the reason why Chawana said the answer is C, because he knows the only one with the rate 55%, I mean, a decrease of 45, which is 0.55, is C. Right, Chawana? I'm guessing that's why you are like confident that it was C without thinking too much, right?
Yes.
So that's why. And then you can think of it as logical as you want, like Osman said. So when no time has passed, we know that when no time has passed, when x is equal to 0, remember this is representing x, and that here is representing y, our y value, f of x is equal to y. So if I substitute x for 0 at any of these, notice what happens. Any number to the power 0 is equal to 1. So if I substitute 0 here, this is going to be 1. So it means 1 times 0.55. It means when q is equal to 0, our answer is 55. But no, the thing says when q is equal to 0. The question says when q is equal to 0, our answer to be 14. What happens if I substitute 0 for x here? I'm going to have 1 times 1.45, which is 1.45, which is different from 14. So that's not our answer. If I substitute x for 0 here, I'm going to have 1 by 14, right? Okay, so now I'm interested. It's the same thing as C. If I substitute x here as 0, I'm going to have 1 by 14. Okay, so we look at C and D. But which one has gotten, this one has got an increase of 45%, but C has got a decrease of, the rate is a decrease, so it's 0 point something. So our answer is 23. Okay, we move on to, so I've literally just taught you guys the topic of percentage, just through one question. And that's the beauty of revising some of these questions. The graph of f of x plus 14 is shown here. Which equation defines the function? Okay, so the equation that defines the function, okay, all of them have negative gradients, so I can't do that. When I place 0, our intercept should be 2. So already our answer is going to be, no, it's not going to, they're trying to trick us. It's not going to be C. 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 Okay. All right. So Alden, Jerome, we'll see you guys. I think, guys, we can let's try to aim for the next 16 minutes. We just finished these last 3, and actually no, we can do it in less because. Oh, okay, yeah, no, we can do it in less. Okay, can you guys tell me the answer for this one real quick? It's pretty. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Okay, what makes you say A?
Since the y-axis is 2, so and then there is 14. Obviously, the only way to get to 2 is to say negative 12.
Exactly. So what these guys want you to do is go straight for C, right? Which is the mistake that is very easy to make because the y-intercept here is 2. So it means this is the equation probably, f of x. But the question says this is the equation of f of x plus 14. So it means it's been shifted up plus 14 times. This one has been shifted up 14 times. I mean, sorry, when you see plus 2, when you see 2 as an intercept, when you substitute x for 0, it'll look like this is the equation. But remember, this equation is of f of x plus 14. So it means that, like you said, the only way to actually get 2 is if this was initially negative 12. So if it was negative 12 and then you move it 14 times up, it's going to be plus. It's going to, if it was minus 12 and
That's
then you
14.
move it 14 times, it's going to become 2. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it means if you look at this question, let's add 14. If this is f of x, the equation above is f of x plus 14. So the answer choices, notice that the answer choices aren't f of x plus 14. The answer choices are just f of x. So let's try to add 14 on all of them. So let's add 14 on the first one. We add 14. Our answer should be one that is going to give us a 2 as the intercept when we plug in 0. So look at the first one. If we add 14, do we have a 2? It's going to be 14 minus 12. We have a 2. So that's our answer. If we add 14 here, we're getting 30. We add 14 here, we're getting 16. We add 14 here, we're just getting negative quarter of x. So our answer is A. And Chawana, you're right as well. All right. Is everyone correct? Okay there? Isha's been quiet today. All right, let's look at question 25. The side lengths of a right triangle RST are given. RST is similar to UVW. So if we make our own triangle, this is ugly, but RST is equal to UVW, where S corresponds to V. This is V, by the way. This is V. Let me write that. Let me do that again. So that it's a bit. So UVW, yeah. S corresponds to V, yeah. And T corresponds to W. What is the value of tan W? We know that RS is 20. Actually, can we simplify this to divide it by 4? So RS is 20. I'm just going to divide this by 4. This is 5. This is going to be 12. This is going to be, right? So we're going to divide. I'm just trying to simplify it. So 5, 12. It's a very common Pythagorean triple. ST is 12. And TR is 13. Okay. So what is the value of tan W? What's the value of tan W? So tan W should be the same as, actually, tan W is here. Tan W should be the same as tan T, right? Remember SOHCAHTOA, guys? So tan of something is the opposite over the adjacent side, right? The opposite side is this side. This is the adjacent. So 5 over 12. So B is, which is the same thing that Chawana said. Okay. Is everyone okay? Okay. So we are looking at our last one, our last two. And let me know what you guys think for this one. Pretend to thanks. Okay, so everyone is okay. 1 gallon of paint will cover 220 square feet of a surface. A room has a total wall area of W square feet. Which equation represents the total amount of paint P in gallons needed to paint the walls of the room twice? Okay, so remember 1 gallon will cover 220 square feet. A room has a total wall area of W square feet. Okay, so what's the total amount of paint, okay, which we can call P in this case, will be needed to paint the room twice? So I'm just going to cross multiply and say 220 P is equal to W. So P is equal to W over 220, right? But we want one that's gonna paint the walls of the room twice. So 2 here into this is 110. So P is W over 110. So our answer is A. 27. You guys are okay. Anyway, are you guys following? Is that okay? Was that okay? I'm just trying to finish this quickly. All right, so we look at our last question. The number A is 110% greater than the number B. So A is 1.1 of B, basically. We just talked about this. And then B is 90%, so 0.1, all right? Because 90%, so 90% less means like 10%. So 90%, so it's subtracting 0.9 from 1, basically. So 90% less than 47. What is the value of A? So you find 0.1 of 47, which is just playing with your decimals there. You just move the decimal. So that's 4.7. So B is 4.7. And A is 1.1. A is 1.1. Oh, actually, wait. It's 1.1% greater, right? So it's 110% greater. Do not, where's my eraser? Where's my eraser? Take that back. If I did 1.1% of A, do you know what that means? That means 10%, right? But if something is 100% greater, it means it's now 2, because A is 1 is already 100%. So 1.1 is 10%. So if it's 1.1% greater, if it's 110% greater, it means A should be 2.1 of B. Is everyone with me on that one? Oh, I hope so. And then if B is, it says B is 90% less. So it's going to be 0.1 because it's 90% less than 47. So you multiply that and we have 4.7. So B is 4.7. But we know that A is 2.1 of B and our B is 4.7. So you say 4.7 times 2.1 and our answer is 9.87. So the last question, our answer was 28. It was 9.87. And that sums up the paper, guys. Thanks for sticking in. I know we started late because we were waiting for someone who didn't show up, unfortunately. But I just like to commend you guys for coming. I will leave this minute or two for anyone who might have any question before I end this lesson. Does anyone have any question? Was everything okay? All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to stop recording just in case you have any question that you want to ask off record.